Welcome back to Down to Business. I'm Josh Dirks, and today I'm here with OB of Windermere Realty. Now, OB, tell me a little bit. We talked about how Windermere got started, kind of the family heritage in the business, but let's break the two apart. I know we have Windermere as a corporation, and you have the Windermere Foundation. So let's talk about kind of how you guys have marketed, how you've advertised, how you helped build the Windermere name into the quality name it's seen in the Puget Sound area. What are some of those things that you guys feel are really core and essential to kind of your ongoing marketing of the Windermere name and brand?
Yeah, really our brand is, we have an owner who loves to say this, and he says that our brand is the experience that our clients have with our agents. If they have a bad experience, well, we have a bad brand. If they have a great experience, we have a great brand. I think part of our marketing and our brand excellence obviously comes from our agents and what they're providing to their customers. Our goal is to help give them the tools, the marketing programs, the education, whether it's through flyer programs or corporate marketing through things like Seattle Times block ads or the Windermere Cup or TV commercials or radio down in Portland. Whatever we can do corporate to help support them on a brand level, but really our agents are our brand. And so really it's just consistency of making the colors and the fonts and all those things the same everywhere. But it's our agents for the most part.
And so when you bring these agents in, you're kind of giving them a suite of different options. You kind of alluded to the block ads, those different types of things. So you're kind of laying out a menu to them and saying, here's all the different options you have to build your business, select what you feel personally reaches your inner workings, what you're passionate about, and also what would reach your client base. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, for the most part, that's exactly how it works. I was recently at one of our offices down in Kelso. Kelso's not a major urban center. And there we're talking about what kind of marketing can we do corporately for them. And really, real estate is a very grassroots level marketing approach, right? You got postcards that you can send to your clients. You have events you can hold. You have signage. You can, if you blog. There's lots of different ways to connect to the community, but it really is a very localized message. We are not a chest beating kind of company. You know, we're number one. We don't do those kinds of things, and all of our brand messaging coming from the top, whether it's radio, TV, or whatever, is typically done through our foundation. So that's why they're typically kind of put in the same bucket on a marketing branding basis. But really, it's our agents in our offices at the very local level, getting the signs out, getting the open house A-boards out, being in the community, whether it's on PTA or whatever it is.
Yep. And you got those people at the office level are really responsible for their local area. They're not really, they're experts on kind of the whole area, but really looking at that very core neighborhood. So when someone comes in and says, I want to know about this neighborhood or this section of town, these guys are really kind of the topical experts on that kind of information.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a standards of, we call it our standards of practice. It's an ethical document that's higher than the industry in general. And part of that document states that we will refer our business out to the local offices because we are not serving our client the best if we're doing it ourselves, driving far away. We don't know the market. We don't know the client base. We don't know the schools. We don't know the public. And we're in an industry that is, if I'm listing your house, well, that's as local as it gets, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, as you alluded to, Kelso might not be as high of a tech town necessarily as, say, a Seattle market is, and so being able to offer that menu of marketing solutions to your agents really gives them a great mix. What are some of those things you've added recently to that menu back to your agents that you're most personally excited about?
There's a couple of things actually that I'm pretty excited about. We have, technology is pretty easy to talk about. We're continually upgrading our technology, but my biggest push, I do have a love for our foundation and a love for connecting to the community through things that feel right and good. We're piloting a program in Seattle right now where the arts and music are the first things to go away in public schools, and we like to support children within our foundation. One of the projects we have is the kids will create art. We supply the products to the kids. They supply art. We hang them on the wall. Then we bring the clientele in after about a year of it hanging there. Both the school, the kids, the parents, and then our clients in, have a party and auction that art off, and it goes back to the school. It's a great way to connect to your client base, to help the kids out, to be in the community and feel good about it. And that's marketing, right? And so
I think that's a great illustration, too, of how, because we talked about the corporate side and the foundation side, how the foundation side is really helping brand and advertise and market the greater entity as a whole. So tell us a little bit about the foundation, kind of its role for you guys, and some of its focus over the last 2 or 3 months.
Our foundation, we focus, the way the foundation works is a portion of our agents' commissions go back to the foundation, and we call that the foundation in the sky. Then whatever that office raises within their own community, that the office then gives to give away 100% of those dollars. So if they do a bowling party or a fundraiser or anything else, those dollars get directly distributed back to the communities. So our offices are really in charge of what they deem is appropriate to give back through their local community. Most of the focus for us, I also am the owner of 6 offices in Seattle, so I'm connected in both ways. And I like to push, what we try and do within our 6 offices is we like to make grade school, elementary school kids feel normal. Nice. So if there's kids that are in 4th grade that are going to a 4th grade field trip, but there's kids that can't afford it, we will pay for those kids to do that. Or an after-school camp. We want the kids to feel as normal as they can going through school, and that's kind of our focus.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that foundation, the goal behind that is really doing great community work, but ultimately it's really to help, just continue to help, because you guys are really those local influencers in the marketplace. As you said, you're giving designation of those dollars to those market managers or those office managers. What's, you alluded to the art piece, you've alluded to a lot of different things. What's kind of one of your favorite things the foundation's ever done? Can you give us an example of something kind of bigger that we might all know about?
Oh, what have we done that's bigger? We have, we've supported, we went through years of trying to figure out a foundation, and I'm sure you're aware, it's difficult to laser in and give money.
Yeah.
There's so many needy organizations and people out there. And our main goal when we first started the foundation was to give back to homeless people. You know, it makes sense. We sell homes, we should give back to homeless people. And that became a very difficult task. There is a ton of red tape involved, and transition housing to get them back into the productive adult cycle is difficult.
Absolutely.
And so we floundered around through Habitat, through all sorts of different organizations. We were at Red Cross for a while, and we finally landed on the YMCA as our big push corporately, if you will, for the foundation dollars. So we support roughly 15 YMCAs around Western Washington and Oregon and Spokane. And it's the same thing, kids and after-school camps and things like that. And that is kind of a big corporation move that we feel pretty good about.
I love it. You guys have really done a great job of how you kind of marketed yourself, and I love the autonomy you're giving to your local market leaders. Right back after this break, we're going to come back and give some of our recommendations at Down to Business to OB and the Windermere team about what we do from a corporate standpoint. So stick with us through the break.